So Ricky, what toys did you buy today?
So I went out and got the EGO Power Blower and Power Hedge Trimmer, which are cordless tools for yard work. And I wanted to put together a little video to show them in action and kind of a little review of how I feel they perform.
Okay. So these take a 56 volt battery, which is insane. Like, I'm gonna wait for the 58 volt battery. You can tinker around with these little toys called 56 volt, but anyway, big, well-built looking battery.
Yeah, so if you notice on the box, their big claim is that it has the power of gas tools without the fumes and the fuss and the inconvenience of it. And that's a pretty bold claim. And the reason why I went with these tools is because of that 56 volt rating. With cordless tools like this, especially with the hedge trimmers and leaf blowers, like high draw devices, you definitely want the highest voltage you can, and this was one of the higher ones that I found, and I loved their battery packs. And this is the charger. Everything's really heavy duty, like Chris mentioned. EGO has an entire lineup of yard tools, and so we had just did the Dyson review video, so I got the cordless V8 Dyson, and I realized how much more convenient it was to do vacuuming in the house. And so by that same rationale, I thought if I had really easy cordless battery powered tools, I would do more yard work. And that's exactly why I got these. Everything's really, really high quality, really durable. It has good balance. The leaf blower is really light and really easy to hold. The hedge trimmer is definitely heavier, but let's start with this. So the battery installation, it just slides on a rail here, just like that. And it locks in. There's a battery release right here. But really high end, heavy duty. You've got a speed control.
Hold on. Before you go too much further, do you want to go ahead and, I'm kind of hot right now. You want to just go ahead and stand over there and give me a little cool off? Why not? Let's see how loud it is.
Okay, so you want high speed or low speed?
Let's go through there's 3 speeds, right? Hit me. Okay, so do low speed. Okay, do high. I gotta close my eyes. I don't want to damage the retinas. Turbo. Okay. And Ricky was about 5 or 6 feet away, so I mean, crazy stuff.
Exactly. I've had a gas-powered leaf blower in the past, and I can tell you that this is just as powerful. It has about an hour of runtime, which is about what I need for a house my size. And again, if you've got extra battery packs, you can just swap them out. They charge pretty quick, and you keep going. But here is, all there really is to the blower is a control here for the speed. So you've got variable control all the way from low, like we showed you, to high. And then if you've got just a real big mess, you can hit the turbo button, and it comes on. And again, just like the Dyson, because there's a trigger, you don't have to run it unless you're using it. So as you're walking around the house, you don't have to worry about that. And when you're ready to rock, you just hit the trigger.
What does this guy run with? It comes with battery and charger. What does the leaf blower run about?
The leaf blower is $200 with battery and charger.
Battery and charger, okay.
Yeah. And because these are my first EGO tools, I got the battery and charger combo pack for both of the tools, and that's what $200 was. But in the future, if you wanted to buy another tool, maybe a lawnmower, whatever else you might buy, you can just get the tool only because you've got a couple of batteries, or you can get the kit, but the tool only would be $150.
Okay.
But they also make a weed trimmer, and you could use the same battery packs for that. And really all there is to this one is there's the sleeve. It locks in just like that, and
this is a great tool, man.
It is. It's not so heavy. Using this tool, I didn't really feel any fatigue. The hedge trimmer we'll talk about next definitely is heavier and a little bit more cumbersome to use, but this is brilliant. Very easy to use, works really well, and yeah. I've had it for about 2 weeks. I've used it 4 or 5 times, and in those 4 or 5 times, I can say that their claim about being as powerful as gas is true. This is probably the best electric leaf blower I've ever used.
So a lot of people right now are worried about lithium-ion batteries, and one of the main concerns is heat, and when they get hot, bad things happen.
Yeah, and of course they can blow up and things like that. But also as you're charging them, they're gonna get hot when you charge. Any rechargeable batteries will get hot when you charge them. And so this actually has a fan right here, and you can notice that there's a little grill here and it comes out the top, but I can slap that on and you'll hear the fan kick on.
Pretty quiet, but it's doing the job. So go ahead and take a listen to that fan. We're gonna put it close to the mic. not too bad, but it's doing the job, you can tell.
But it's good to know that they've thought of everything. This battery pack is a very impressive looking unit. It's real heavy duty and it'll stay cool as it charges to give you longer life as well.
And what's also kind of cool is on the battery pack, as most battery packs have, they have different indicators for charging, fully charged, or if there's a problem with the battery, so you know to get it replaced or fixed.
Okay, and again, all of the EGO tools are the same standard battery, so the same battery will work on any tool. And so next we have the Hedge Trimmer. This was actually the tool that I went out looking for, and the leaf blower was just another fun buy. But I have a lot of hedges around my property, and with this tool, it makes it pretty quick to just keep them cleaned up. So there it is, it's installed. And you'll notice here that there's a green handle that runs kind of the length of the tool, and this is one trigger and this is the second. So you have to depress both triggers to turn it on. It's a good safety feature because this is definitely a more dangerous tool. And you'll see here that
oh man, that looks like it could do some damage if you get your finger stuck in there.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna even get close to
and that's why you have to have both hands on it to run it. You can't be using it with one hand.
Right, because okay.
And also, as I mentioned, this tool is heavier and a little bit harder to use. So don't be shy about taking a break and putting it down and just kind of stretching out because you don't want to get like fatigue in your hands. But what's really great is because the handle wraps all the way around, you can hold it like this while you're going like that. You can bring it vertical and do the tops. You can swing it around this way, and I'll just fire it on real quick. You know, it's hardened steel. If in the future these blades dull prematurely or anything like that, I can make a follow-on video, but right now I'm super impressed.
Can we do a test on my back hair? Because I think this could come in handy. I have a few back hairs that are just a little...
So this is rated for 3/4 of an inch. So your back hair might be pushing it.
Okay, well...
We can check it out.
Yeah,
check it out.
My barber refuses to see me anymore, so maybe this is the answer. Okay, and so this is also $200 with a battery and a charger.
Right.
And EGO gives a 5-year warranty. Now, we don't know if that's on the batteries themselves. Like Rigid, by the way, we're kind of Rigid fanboys, but Rigid gives you a lifetime warranty on not only the tools, but on the batteries as well. So we need to find out if the 5-year applies to the batteries or not. But still, good to see companies going beyond the standard 1 year or 2 years that they typically do.
Absolutely. And both of these tools come with smaller end. One of them has a 2 amp hour pack and the other is a 2.5 amp hour pack.
Oh.
But they make 5 amp hour packs. Like if you're doing like really big yards, you're doing a lot of work, they have bigger batteries too. So this is on the small end of their offering.
So does the amp hour mean that it just runs longer?
Correct.
So that means that even a lawnmower, let's say it only took 1 battery, you could use these, it just would run shorter. It won't, the bigger amp hour won't make it run faster or better, anything like that, just length, okay.
They're all 56 volt, that's a standard, and how much they draw will depend on the tool. But I can say that both these tools I've used for an hour and they lasted the hour no problem. And again, battery pack means you can just use it and when you're moving around, you just turn it off and walk, just like the Dyson. And so as a result of that, the battery lasts probably longer than you're probably thinking it would. With the gas tool, you have to fire it up, and I normally left it on and just kind of on idle, and it was burning gas the entire time as I was moving around, and there's none of that now.
Now, I have a condo, so I don't have to worry about maintenance, but I used to have a house, and I can tell you that the one advantage of this and the Dyson being cordless and having a lot of power and a lot of runtime is you have really no excuse not to just grab it and start doing your work. Whereas if gasoline or ones with an electric cord or ones that won't run but more than 10 minutes, there's always like this downside of like, it's a pain, right? With this, you just grab and go, and so you really have no excuse. That's just, I think would you say that's the biggest selling feature of this?
100%. The reason why I got it and the reason why we're doing this review after the Dyson one is it's the same philosophy of if you can lower the overhead and the obstacle of doing a little project, you might be more likely to do it. And exactly. So I would say this is better than electric corded tools because I used to have to like open windows and go into bedrooms and plug them in and have like 100-foot extension cords.
And they have to be thick because some of those, like those lawnmowers, draw a lot of current. And if you have a skinny little thing, I mean, those things could catch on fire or melt at least, and that's bad, right?
You want to get a heavy duty one,
Right. So this kind of puts
it's better than corded electric, and it's better than gas as well. I just think this is so much more convenient. You buy 2 or 3 of these battery packs and chargers, and then in the future you just buy the tools without the battery packs, just keep them charged and ready to rock.
That's awesome.
I think you'll love it. And the performance of both these tools is excellent. You see how big that groove is? That's where they come up with the 3/4 inch.
Okay.
I cut stuff all the way to that size. I had no problem with it, and it made quick work of everything I threw at it.
Would you recommend this to a person who has to do yard work, let's say once or twice a week?
I absolutely would. I used to have a gardener who came twice a month and charged about $100 for the trip. So the way I look at it is, if I can clean my own yard for 4 months, that the tools have paid for themselves, and I can just keep it clean. And again, I'm not gonna do the entire house, the entire yard in one pass. I'll just pick a little area and just clean that up, fill the yard bin, and do that again a couple days later or the next week. And that's why this is so convenient. Like if I got the extension cord, or I got gasoline and oil, I'd feel compelled to just do as much as I could, because I didn't want that gas sitting there going bad, or
right.
You know, and there's none of that.
And that's the other thing to say about gas tools. If it's a 4-cycle, well, you still got to buy gas. Gas gets old, or you got to buy additives to keep the gas from going bad. You still have to have an oil tank for the oil injection. If it's 2-stroke, you got to pre-mix your oil. Believe me, I've been there. You know, let's face it, it's probably, you know, the less things we can put in the environment, the better.
Yeah.
So this seems like a really great, easy solution. So
yeah, I think this is the time for lithium-ion battery-powered tools. I think this probably wasn't going to be as good as gas 5 years ago, but I think we're there. Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, now that you bought this, I just looked on EGO's website. They came out with a 62-volt model, so I'm going to buy that, and because I have to have one better than Ricky. I mean, that's just the way things
that's just how
work
it goes
around here. So we hope you enjoyed that. We hope that helps you decide whether electric yard tools are right for you.
Absolutely. And of course, pick an ecosystem and stick with it. If you've got tools already, probably makes sense to go that route. But if you're new to the game, I would definitely recommend checking out EGO. A lot of tools to pick from, and the batteries work for all of it.
I'm Chris.
I'm Ricky.
We're 2-Bit Da Vinci. We hope this helped you out, and if you like this video, you know, please give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you didn't. Any comments, put them down below. Questions, we'll try to answer them. Subscribe if you want to get our videos in your feed. It really helps us out. Google rewards us for more subscriptions. Most important, the Amazon affiliate links. They help us. They put a few pennies in our pocket to allow us to do more videos like this. So until next time, talk to you later.